Welcome to All Home Care Matters, the show where we discuss all things home care, with discussions on important age-related matters and topics. Brought to you by Enriched Life Home Care Services, the #1 rated home care provider in Michigan by Top Rated Local.
Hello, and welcome back to All Home Care Matters. If this is your first time visiting us here at the show, we want to say thank you for taking time out to be with us today. We appreciate how valuable everyone's time is, and that's why we try and make each episode here at All Home Care Matters something that will hopefully matter to you. Today, we're honored to welcome back Alexis Baker, founder of Bridgetown Music Therapy, along with Lindsey Bretzman and Tyler Mizik. Welcome all three of you to All Home Care Matters. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you today.
Always a pleasure to see you, Alexis. So we wanted to kind of do an update, what's going on at Bridgetown Music Therapy, and kind of share with viewers and listeners who may not be familiar with you and the work you guys are doing there, all of the exciting resources and things that you're providing for families and their caregivers and facilities. So I'm going to kind of first, though, have each of you just do a brief introduction for our viewers and listeners. Alexis, we'll start with you.
Sure. I am the founder and owner of Bridgetown Music Therapy. I am also a board certified music therapist. That's been my career for the past 12 years, as well as a certified dementia practitioner. And one of the questions I get often is, what is my personal connection to dementia? So I just wanted to share that really briefly. My grandmother had Alzheimer's disease, and she passed away when I was 16, and it just made a really big impact on me at that age. And she was my first real exposure to dementia. And then the music piece has been all my life, but really putting music and dementia together, it just everything fell into place. So that's been my passion the last about 9 years since I started my company, Bridgetown Music Therapy.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, Lindsey, let's go to you. You're a life enrichment specialist at Bridgetown Music Therapy. Why don't you share a little bit about what that is and a little of your background?
Sure. So as a life enrichment specialist, I we could put an asterisk next to it of of so many things that it entails. But I have the honor of working alongside with Alexis Baker. So she's my music partner in crime. I am a certified dementia practitioner, certified activity director in the state of Oregon. My background in senior living is primarily with life enrichment activities and memory care communities. That's been my passion throughout my career. And similarly to Alexis, I got started in the industry working with my grandfather. So caring for him and connecting with him inspired me to want to work with seniors and older adults. As a life enrichment specialist, I have the pleasure of connecting with older adults and the people that care for and serve them, be it their family members, activity professionals, memory care professionals. I serve as a kind of a go-to contact for our members. So whether it's tech support or inspiring them on ways how to use and connect the program, or even just being there to listen and lend an ear. One of my favorite responsibilities, if you can call it that, one of my favorite fun tasks at Bridgetown Music Therapy is collaborating with Alexis every month on our themed live sessions that we do in addition to our virtual music engagement program. So that's a lot of fun, where I'm able to help collaborate and contribute to that. And anything else that that comes up within the community. So I like to say that I'm a resource for our members and the greater community.
All right, great. Thank you, Lindsey. Tyler, we're saving the best for last.
My name is Tyler. I'm currently a activity director as well as the memory care director I got my start a little late in senior living, but I'm excited that I feel like part of the cool kids club with Alexis and Lindsey because I'm also a certified dementia practitioner. So like I feel part of the club now. But I got my start in senior living and with the older generation. Whenever my fiance was in nursing school, I, never thought that activities or even being with seniors was in my future until I would hear different stories that he would come home and tell me and show me pictures. And I'm like, this is actually really cool. So I started as a CNA, as a care aide, and then I bumped up to the activity director, and then the spot came open for memory care director, and now I do both in my building with 80 amazing residents. Um, it's so cool to work with the older generation because you hear so many different stories, so many different taglines that stick with you. You hear so many different things that you can put in your life as a younger person that can make you change your vision on literally everything. There's so much advice that you can get from working with them. And I love my job. And yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to clarify, you don't work for Bridgetown Music Therapy. Your facility and your role, you work with them, correct?
Yes, we are their number one fan.
The number one fan. Great. And you also host a podcast if you want to give that a shout out before we get going.
Oh yeah, we have the Ageless Adventures podcast where I interview different caregivers and our actual residents.
Fun. All right. Well, thank you, all three of you, for being here with us today. I want to start with you, Alexis. This is, I think, your third time joining us. But since your last appearance a couple years ago, how has Bridgetown Music Therapy really changed or evolved? You've got a lot of exciting things happening over there.
Yes, yes. It has been a couple years, so get ready for a long list. So we have just really worked hard on expanding our programs and offerings. We've continued adding more content to our virtual music engagement program, which came about in 2020 in the midst of the COVID pandemic. We're just reaching more people, which is really exciting. We're growing our local in-person services as well as our virtual services, and then that in addition to our virtual music engagement program members. We recently launched a scholarship program, so we're just working hard to make our programs even more accessible to people and communities. We now have a couple of sponsors for our free live sessions we do monthly. And then we're just working hard on some strategic partnerships and yeah, lots in the works. So a lot has happened in the last couple of years, and we're so grateful for the progress we've experienced.
That's great. Lindsey, I want to go to you for a minute. Can you help walk us through your role and the key responsibilities as a life enrichment specialist at Bridgetown Music Therapy?
Sure. So in my role as life enrichment specialist, it's all about connecting to the community through community outreach, very active on LinkedIn and social media, connecting with like-minded professionals, older adults, and those who serve and work with them. So I like to remind our members and the community that I'm here as a resource for them. We like to say that seeing is believing. So I host a lot of virtual demonstrations of our virtual music engagement program to show not only all of the great content and the features of our program, but help brainstorm how to connect to the older adults and when is the best time and how to use the program. I have the exciting opportunity to work on our themed live sessions every month, as well as different networking and community events. And I'm always coming up with, I have to say, I am so grateful for working with Alexis because she often entertains my crazy ideas that will pop into my head from time to time. And so I love that I'm able to work with her and try those things and continue to contribute to the features of our program.
No, that's wonderful, Lindsey. Tyler, I want to bounce to you for a moment. When we introduced you, I mentioned that you're not working for Bridgetown, but you actually work with them, and you guys are their number one fans. Why don't you share with viewers and listeners and people who may be, an activity director or in these facilities or even at home caring for a loved one, how has Bridgetown Music Therapy helped your residents?
Oh, it's drastic. So I want to say first, one thing about Bridgetown Music Therapy that I love in the Music with Alexis program is it's perfect for the residents that can see close and can see far away. We have used multiple programs like this before Music with Alexis, but none of them had the printable lyrics or the lyrics on the screen. So they have two options so everybody can get involved with it. But also with that, there's so many different options to themes. So, for example, it really gets our residents in the mood for the activity or party we're doing for that month or that week. So, for example, we did on the 25th Christmas with July or Christmas in July. So we do Music with Alexis every Tuesday. So that Tuesday we did Christmas songs. We were doing an alien party. So that Tuesday we did her moon song theme. And the residents really get excited. Every Tuesday they see Music with Alexis. And my favorite thing to do with the residents is when she first comes on and she says, "Hello, my name is Alexis." I pause it and everyone yells, "Hi, Alexis." And it's the cutest thing in the world. But you really just see the residents come to life because it's their music. It's not the music that is out on the radio today. It's all the music they know, they love, and they're able to sing to. That's why we love it.
No, that's incredible. Alexis, I want to, you're hearing what Lindsey's saying. You're hearing the feedback from Tyler, which I'm sure is, very affirming and rewarding. But can you share a success story about how your virtual music engagement programs have sparked joy or improved the quality of life for someone living with dementia that you personally are aware of?
Absolutely. And before I jump into a couple of stories, I just want to add on to what Tyler was saying. Um, Lindsey and I have been following Tyler for a few years. He's kind of a celebrity in the activity professionals world, and we've been following him for a couple of years on social media, and he just embodies what activity directors are, their passion, their love for their residents. He's so fun loving, has so many creative ideas, and we have members that really need help getting started with our program. And then we have those who it just clicks and they just run with it. And Tyler has just taken our program and just run with it. So I love hearing things like that. Tyler, thanks for sharing. Yeah, so we have with our virtual music engagement program, we serve both community settings, the memory care facilities, senior living communities, and then we serve individuals living at home. So Tyler's really sharing about how the program is used in a community setting today, but I wanted to share a couple of examples of how it's used in home settings where it's a family caregiver caring for their loved one living with dementia. I did know this question ahead of time, so I wanted to print something out and just read it because it's so touching from a couple of our members. Two of them in particular used our program right up into through end of life care with their loved one, which it can be so valuable for that to help support the caregiver, the family member going through the loss of their loved one, but also just providing comfort and a lot of times with end of life, hearing is the last sense to go. So music can really work well in that period of a person's life. So this is from one member. My mom passed away a few days ago. Until 2 days before she died, she was watching Alexis and singing with her. The programming you offer gave Mom such encouragement and support, and we are forever thankful to you. Singing was really the only thing Mom could get pleasure out of during her last days. So that's one, and then another member recently shared with us that her our videos on our program brought her mom so much joy in the last 6 months of her life. So hearing from our members directly like that, it's very impactful and very affirming to the work I do.
That's powerful, and I'm sure there's many more that you'll never know about, right? And that's what we hear all the
Absolutely.
time. Lindsey, I want to come back to you now and talk a little bit more about the virtual music engagement program. Have you personally used Bridgetown's virtual music engagement program with older adults, and how did it benefit you and the participants?
Yes, great question. So the reason why I myself am such a fan of the program is because I have personally used it in a memory care setting in the throes of the pandemic when there was so much going on and there was so much pressure and expected of life enrichment professionals throughout the pandemic to provide meaningful enrichment in a safe and effective way through the constant turning of the tide from day to day. And so I was a life enrichment professional working in a memory care community. I was working in a very large community that had many different levels of care. And I used the program, loved the program. One of my favorite stories I like to share about the program is how it affected me and how it helped me in so many ways. There was one day where I had almost my entire team out sick with COVID themselves. I had to be in 4 different places at once, and I'm only one person, and I was mapping out how I was going to get this together. And so I was able to run into the community and queue up one of the therapeutic music sessions on the screen and then go to another building and help get it started there. So it really felt like almost an extension of myself. It felt like I had Alexis in the community, 20 access to Alexis in the community 24/7. So it's huge in being able to help because there's no preparation or planning needed. You just log on, find one of the therapeutic music sessions you want to play, and press play. It's great to be there and help encourage and cue and have fun with the residents, but I personally loved that the program gave me the availability, the flexibility to press play and walk away when I needed to. So that was one way it helped me. Because the program is so high quality and polished, there really was no preparation needed. And even though I love music and participating in music with residents, with older adults, you don't need musical skill to participate. So you're able to lend into Alexis on that. And it was absolutely wonderful seeing the residents connecting. Just like Tyler mentioned, I had a very similar experience with residents saying, "Hi, Alexis," and waving back at the screen. We've actually had quite a few of our members share that feedback. So I like to say it's like having Alexis, a music therapist, in your pocket 24/7. Having on-demand access to her is a very special resource to have. But being able to personally see residents connect to the program, whether it was reading the lyrics and singing along, dancing, standing up and dancing, clapping their hands, tapping their feet, using an instrument, groups, and in the individual setting. I also used the program on tablets or on my laptop for residents who were either bedbound or got overstimulated by big group activities. So I loved the flexibility and being able to use the program with the group or with individuals. So it helped me. I like to say that it saves activity professionals time and money, and then offers a great opportunity for engagement with the older adults.
Oh, that's incredible. Thanks for sharing that, Lindsey. Tyler, I want to come back to you because, you are in the facility and you're using, Alexis's resources all the time. Can you describe what a typical session looks like in your community when you're using Bridgetown?
Yeah, so it is pretty much right after breakfast is when they're ready to go. It varies. Sometimes we'll do it in our theater room, sometimes we'll do it in our lobby, but they flock right to wherever we're having it, whether whichever room that is. And they're sitting right there in front of the TV, or sometimes we'll do it really big on a wall. It feels like a movie theater. Um, and they are excited to see. We wait until everyone's there before we pass out the lyric packets. And they're excited. They're questioning all morning what the theme is, what we're going to sing today. It's crazy because our pastor even asked for the login information to start using it during church service on Sundays. So they're going to get even more Alexis than what they get now. And I kind of brought that up during our resident council meeting, and they were excited. So we go ahead, we get them all together, we pass out the lyric packets, and we say, Alexis comes on with her hello, hello, my name is Alexis, and they light up and their smiles come on. They yell, hi, Alexis, and then it just goes from there. And I also want to throw in that I really, really, really like that Alexis throws in the with movement songs where she does the exercise and the breathing and stuff. We have people that don't come to like our typical standard exercise class, but they will come to this and do that, which is insane. It helps them in all ways, dementia residents, senior living residents, all together. So, yeah.
How long have you guys been using the program?
I want to say around a year.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. No, that's great. Alexis, we'll come back to you. You and I spoke a couple months ago, and we were talking about ways to collaborate, partner. You made me a brand ambassador for Bridgetown, which, we're proud to be a part of. But, this question, I'm trying to figure out the best way to ask it. So you're saying it's been a significant step for Bridgetown Music Therapy. How has the collaboration with us helped to amplify your mission to support dementia care?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for accepting the brand ambassadorship
Our
role.
pleasure.
We're very grateful to be partnered with All Home Care Matters and your personal brand in that way. And I think for me, it always comes back to the power of networking in this industry and in the general care space and how important that is. Because when we come together, we're stronger. And so you and I have known each other for, I think,
About
close
4 or 5 years.
four to 5 years now. Yeah, I think we connected during COVID, when All Home Care Matters was pretty new. And we've just been able to continue collaborating in various ways throughout the years. And I just think it's so powerful to team up with other people rather than to be an isolated island. And
Absolutely.
we can share our influence and our strengths with each other and amplify each other's messages and all of that. So,
No,
yeah, I
sounds
think that
great.
kind of sums it up.
Sounds good to me. I know we're looking forward to continuing, our partnership and working with you guys and, helping to support your mission because your mission is very similar to our mission. And that's just to help, our seniors and their loved ones and the caregivers providing them the care. I think it's that simple. I want to go to Lindsey again. I want to talk because, you were discussing how you were using, Alexis in your facility at the time. In what ways does your previous life enrichment experience aid you in your current role helping members successfully connect and engage with the program now?
That's a fantastic question. The first thing that comes to mind is the last thing that I want to come off to the community is being salesy, as being a salesperson, because I don't view myself as a salesperson. I truly view myself as a resource. I like to say that life enrichment professionals, we're all cut from the same cloth. And just like you mentioned, Lance, at the end of the day, we're all here for the same thing. And it's for quality of life and care for seniors. And so having the experience that I do, not only using the program, but in life enrichment and working with older adults, I can truly develop relationships with our members, and help them brainstorm ways to connect to the program, instead of just saying, all right, you're a member, great, good luck. Understanding what their setting looks like, understanding what barriers they may run into, and offering solutions and ideas for that, whether it be time of day to use the program, which themes to use, which session lengths to use. One of my most favorite ways to use the program, not only for fun, but is in a therapeutic way, as a non-pharmacological behavioral intervention. And I enjoy sharing my experience with the program with our members and with those who are becoming our members, because it's real and it's genuine. And I want them to be excited about the program because I'm excited about the program. And I can share how wonderful it is and that it works because I know it works. I've seen it. And being able to experience that, is very helpful. So, in helping them brainstorm those ideas is very helpful. Also, as a life enrichment professional, we're very passionate about our themes. So, so I really enjoy coming up with crazy ideas of different themes or ways that we can feature different sessions. So that's another way that my experience as a life enrichment professional helps me in my current role with Bridgetown Music Therapy, as we're able to see the fun holidays and seasons, and fun special national days, and how we can pair those with some of Alexis's great sessions that she has. So that's one way that my experience can help and be transparent there.
Sure, absolutely. Before we move on, I got to ask you, what's the craziest theme you've ever came up with?
Oh, that's a great question. It's a hard question because there's so many great ones. I will say that we have enjoyed getting inspiration from our members as well. So, with our moon theme, we have different sessions for sun and stars and moon. And many of our moon songs are love songs. And Alexis and I were extremely elated to see Tyler's video and experience incorporating the moon songs for their alien outer space theme. That is one of the most out of the box ways to use to connect a theme. And so it's really got us thinking on different lines too. But some of my favorite themes are music through the decades, different genres, and then some of those different fun ones. So we have a theme that is songs that are blue, all about songs that are blue. Show tunes is one of my personal favorites. I'm a musical gal at heart, so that's one of my favorites. Some of our most popular themes are definitely the Beatles and Elvis.
Oh, I'm sure.
So those are some fun ones that we get really great feedback on.
That's great. Thanks, Lindsey. Tyler, we're getting ready to wrap up here, but I wanted to just go to you briefly before we go back to Alexis and ask you just a couple of quick questions. One, how do you describe the program to other activity directors if you go to a conference or what have you? Because our company, we own a home care company, and we would go around Michigan, literally the bottom of the state, and we would do music and lunch, and I wasn't singing, I wasn't playing an instrument either, but we would have a musician come in and just a fun lunch and very casual, but just to brighten the mood and lift the spirits. And oftentimes people in activity settings like that, they have a very strapped, limited budget, so like we would not take money for doing it. We were doing it because we wanted to. When you're talking to other activity directors, how do you explain the worth of this versus just go on YouTube and hit a playlist?
So I like this question. So within our company, I've been on our biweekly calls telling them like, hey, I know you guys are doing sing-alongs, but do sing-alongs better.
Right.
And I'm sending over the link because that's honestly, I feel like that just describes it. Like you can do your normal sing along, but subscribe to Music with Alexis and do it better because it's better than all of them. If I'm being honest, like from the production to the easiness to use it to the value of it, if I'm being honest, like all of it combined is amazing.
It's a lot more therapeutic.
Yep, that's exactly what I would tell them. It's just better.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alexis, when you look ahead and you're looking at the trends or innovations in music therapy and dementia care, what are you the most excited about, and how is Bridgetown Music Therapy planning to stay at the forefront of these developments?
Yeah, good question. There is a lot of technological advancements happening in this care space. Apps, an explosion of app-based services, which just makes things more accessible, essentially. And then the research that's happening. So we would love to take both of those things, the technology. One of our goals is to one day have a Bridgetown app so that our program is a little more accessible. Right now, it's just accessed through a website, so it's online based. Um, but yeah, with smart TVs and all of that in these communities to just make it more of a one-touch access point for them. Um, we would also love to do some more formal research on our program specifically. So there's a lot of other programs out there, and there's been research happening on music in general within dementia care. One recent one that was released by AARP showed that it's a 2.4 return on every dollar spent on music engagement for dementia patients. So that's very encouraging to see, like, wow, it's a great return on money spent investing in music engagement. But to have more of a formal research study done on our program specifically. We just don't have the resources to do that right now, but that's one of our goals. And then our vision is just to continue reaching more people. More specifically, our vision is to reach more than 25,000 individuals living with dementia in the next 10 years. So that's our goal, is just to reach as many people with the power of music, because we know how impactful it is with people living with dementia and those who aren't living with dementia as well. So yeah.
No, that's exciting. Is there any other exciting things on the horizon that you'd want to share that might be coming in the next 5 to 10 years, aside from like the research?
Yeah, I know I mentioned it pretty quickly at the beginning, a list of uh, expansions we've made. But a couple of note are our scholarship program, which we're not a nonprofit, so we can't provide the like tax write-off for any gifts, but we are open to receiving uh, donations to make our program available to communities who can't afford it, individuals who can't afford it. So we're just starting that, getting that started. We have a donation button on our website, and then we also have a button for individuals or communities to apply to be a recipient of the scholarship. And then we're also, I can't mention anything specifically, but we're in the midst of some strategic partnerships with other companies that would help with the distribution of our content. So
That's
lots of exciting things happening.
that's wonderful. Where do you want everything will be in the show notes, all the links and the contacts, but where would you like people to go to learn more about the work you're doing at Bridgetown Music Therapy?
Yeah, the best spot is our main website, bridgetownmt.com. bridgetownmt.com.
Perfect. All right, so last question for each of you. We're going to start with Lindsey. Lindsey, we're in the elevator. You got to tell me about Bridgetown Music Therapy and why I need it. Go.
Affordability, accessibility, fun, easiness, and a way to make your day fantastic.
Sounds good to me. Tyler, how about you?
Hey, I heard that you're looking to do some music with the older generation, and I think Alexis Baker is pretty cool, and I think you should check her out. And it's affordable, and it's easy, and the residents love her.
Perfect. Alexis, your pitch now, and we'll close with you.
All right. So This is my passion. I have poured my heart and soul into this. I love, love, love my work and what I get to do every day. Um, I have strived to make it as accessible and affordable. We just want to reach people with the power of music. So, like Lindsay said, seeing is believing. Give it a try. Sign up for our free trial, and I'm sure you won't regret it.
Perfect. Well, we're proud to be supporters of you. I'm proud to be there to help support however we can as well. Tyler, Alexis, Lindsey, thank you guys so much for the work you're doing, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. And anytime we can help, reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Our
And
pleasure.
thank you for the great work you do, Lance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today here at All Home Care Matters. All Home Care Matters is here to help families as they navigate these long-term care issues. We invite you to visit us at allhomecarematters.com, where there's a private, secure, fillable form where you can give us feedback, show ideas, or if you have questions. Every form is read and responded to. And remember, you can listen to the show on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms or watch the show on our official YouTube channel. Just make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. We'd also like to say thank you again to Alexis, Lindsey, and Tyler for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again here at All Home Care Matters.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you joining us again on another episode of All Home Care Matters. To learn more about the show and to connect with us, visit us at allhomecarematters.com.